My story began in the late 1990s, where I was in a river with a friend of mine who happened to be just a few steps ahead of me. He ended up basically stepping off a ledge and going underwater. I think the real issue was we weren't swimming, we were actually walking. So when he fell off this ledge, he wasn't prepared to swim. When I encouraged him to swim, I started to swim myself, but then he went underwater again. And I was swimming, and I thought we were far enough out that I could get my feet on the ground. And when I dropped my feet, the two of us sank. I was able to get him up one more time. The two of us ended up sinking again because the river was kind of dragging us downstream. And then that's when my near-death experience happened. My mind went blank. I was at peace for the first time in my life. And basically I could look up, I could see the top of the water, and I seen the bright light. And it felt like I was there for a long time, but out of nowhere, this very vivid thought came through my head, and it basically said, I'm not done yet. And I was able to get myself out. I couldn't find my friend, and 24 hours later, his body was found entangled in some trees at the bottom of the river. I started thinking, oh, well, you know, you only live once, you're not here forever. So I started to travel a lot and experience different cultures. I was lucky to have a job in the construction industry that allowed me to travel. But still, I was always kind of like, well, why am I here? I have to be here for a bigger purpose. That purpose still wasn't clear. After a number of years, I relocated back to Chicago, Illinois, where I continued working in construction, ended up meeting a girl. So our son was born then in 2005. And in 2007, my now ex-wife filed for divorce. Starting a divorce process was all new to me, like courtrooms were all new to me. Yeah, it was just something that I'd never heard of, really. You know, I'm from an Irish background, and where, you know, once you're married for life, you're married for life. But I ended up in a divorce. So after about 18 months of protracted litigation, the divorce was finalized, and I thought that, well, I could now move on with my life, and was back working construction. Then out of nowhere, I got this text message, oh, by the way, you'll never see your son again. So this starts a whole new field of emotions, of fear and anger, because at this stage, my son was only about 2 years old, 3 years old, and I couldn't imagine not just me not seeing my son again, but my son not seeing me and having a father in his life. So then I did what most people do. I went and I hired an attorney. I went to court to basically try and set out a visitation schedule, a parenting plan. And then one day, it was my last time appearing in court in front of the judge, was basically I knew I had no more money left to keep this charade going. And I ended up outside the courtroom. I was just lost, just totally lost. And I didn't know what way to turn, but I knew I had to do something with the energy and the anger and the fear that I had. So it was that moment, standing outside court, I said, you know what? I think I'm a pretty smart guy. I'm going to return to school, because at that stage all I had was high school education. I'm going to return to college. I'm going to get my bachelor's degree. I'm going to get admitted to law school. I'm going to qualify out of law school. I'm going to pass the bar exam, and I am going to go and help people in a similar situation that I found myself in. Running out of money is not something that should be put in the way of the love you have for your child, or your child's right to have a father, mother in their lives. Money should not be that obstacle. And it was that point I said, this is what I'm here for. I had to experience all this so I could get myself to this point. And I had to experience it so that I can help other people. So I know the shoes that they're in. I know what they're feeling. I know the anger that they have. I know the despair that they have. I know all about the not knowing what's going on between court appearances. I've experienced it myself, and this is why I'm here. I'm Pádraig Walsh. I'm an attorney licensed to practice law in the state of Minnesota. I specialize in child custody and visitation issues.